New email problems for Hillary Clinton. This time, it could involve criminal investigations and even more political peril. A new statement from inspectors general this afternoon. This is Special Report. Good evening. Welcome to Washington. I'm Bret Baier. Among the many ongoing scandals and near scandals surrounding Hillary Clinton's bid for the presidency, her use of private email accounts may now be the most potentially damaging. Independent inspectors from different agencies are asking the Justice Department to determine if the former Secretary of State illegally transmitted classified information through her personal server. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry has tonight's top story from New York.
Maybe the heat is getting to everybody.
As Hillary Clinton delivered what her aides billed as a major economic speech, she scrambled to not let it be overshadowed by a new firestorm about classified information on her private email server.
I have released 55,000 pages of emails. I have said repeatedly that I will answer questions before the House committee. We are all accountable to the American people to get the facts right, and I will do my part.
She did not, however, do her part to directly answer whether she sent classified information while serving as Secretary of State. As the independent Inspector General for the intelligence community revealed to Congress, there are at least 4 emails with classified information on that server, despite this sharp denial in March.
There is no classified material.
Sources familiar with the investigation told Fox that first Inspector General, plus a second one at the State Department, have determined Clinton's private account contains hundreds of potentially classified emails, either sent or received by Clinton. A State Department memo obtained by Fox revealing the matter is so serious, the Inspector General has asked that as more Clinton emails are released to the public, they should first be reviewed, quote, in a top-secret classification environment. Republicans pounced, Speaker John Boehner declaring, quote, her poor judgment has undermined our national security, and it is time for her to finally do the right thing. The right thing, according to Boehner and Trey Gowdy of the House Select Committee on Benghazi, is for Clinton to turn the email server over to an independent arbiter. Clinton has refused that, and today her aides jumped on the fact that while the New York Times originally reported that 2 inspectors general had referred the matter to the Justice Department for a criminal investigation, the paper later dialed that back by saying the referral only addressed the potential compromise of classified information. Clinton spokesman Nick Merrill saying, quote, the New York Times report claiming there is a criminal inquiry sought in Hillary Clinton's use of email is false. Clinton's successor at State, John Kerry, told NBC he knows nothing about the details.
Inspector generals operate completely independently. That's why they were put there.
Ed Henry reporting from New York. He was saying that Kerry made an important point. The Inspector General operates independent of the administration and the Congress, so they're not Republican critics of Clinton. They're nonpartisan umpires. Ed now joins us from New York. That is an important point, Ed.
It is, because they're going to be harder for the Clinton campaign to attack. These are not Republican partisan critics. As you say, they're nonpartisan umpires. The other point you mentioned at the top, this new statement from the intelligence community Inspector General late this afternoon, what it said is they found the point I made about 4 emails that had classified information. They say they found that out of a limited sample of only 40 Clinton emails. She turned over more than 30,000 to the State Department. If they found 4 out of 40, there could be a whole lot more, Brett.
Okay, much more on this with the panel. Ed, thank you. Republican presidential candidates were predictably outraged at the latest email news, but they were able to set aside their anger long enough to talk about the situation, as you can imagine. Senior political correspondent Mike Emanuel has that part of the story tonight.
Republican candidates were quick to pounce on Hillary Clinton's latest negative headlines about her email as Secretary of State.
Well, the Inspector General referrals are stunning, and they demand immediate action. Now, it also underscores the Department of Justice should have investigated this months ago when it broke.
Cruz says he hopes the credibility of the internal watchdogs will force the Justice Department to act.
On its face, it appeared that Secretary Clinton violated federal law, and yet, by all appearances, this Department of Justice, it's such a partisan arm of the DNC, but no investigation was opened.
Meanwhile, Democratic sources say Clinton campaign chairman John Podesta has been telling allies privately that Ohio Governor John Kasich is the candidate Team Clinton fears most in a general election matchup.
They are obviously concerned about the record. I mean, you know, when you balance the federal budget, when you reform the Pentagon, but you support strong defense, or what I did when and my team did when I became governor of Ohio, I think it's a formidable record. It's not just talk. It's actually results.
While there's been plenty of jockeying for position among the 16 Republican candidates, Carly Fiorina has kept her focus on Clinton.
Go ahead and admit it. You would just love to see me debate Hillary Clinton.
And Fiorina says she's the one to hold Clinton accountable about her record.
This has got to be a fight, and we better bring everything we have to that fight. We can't count on the media to ask her the tough questions about why she lied about Benghazi, why she's covering up for Benghazi.
Some good news for the campaign of former Texas Governor Rick Perry. One of 2 felony indictments against Perry was tossed out by a Texas appeals court. Perry's legal team has argued his veto of $7.5 million for the Travis County DA's office was explicitly part of his power as governor. At this point, Perry will still have to face an abuse of power charge. Brett?
And Mike, there was this very unusual kind of outburst on the Senate floor. A lot of anger back and forth. Tell us about that.
That's right. Senator Ted Cruz accused fellow Republican Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of lying, claiming McConnell had told Cruz there had been no deal to vote on reauthorization of the Export-Import Bank. McConnell set up a procedural vote today to reauthorize the Export-Import Bank, which had its charter expire at the end of June. Then Cruz blasted the Majority Leader.
I cannot believe he would tell a flat-out lie. And I voted based on those assurances that he made to each and every one of us. What we just saw today was an absolute demonstration that not only what he told every Republican senator, but what he told the press over and over and over again was a simple lie.
I should note, McConnell and his aides have declined to comment. Brett?
I'll have to say something soon. Mike, thanks. As we gear up for the first Republican debate, we want to hear from you. Go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/BrettBairSR. Share a photo showing how the U.S. economy has impacted your family, and you could be featured during the debate. Don't miss the Fox News Facebook debate live from Cleveland, August 6th on Fox News Channel. Officials are painting a picture tonight of a mentally disturbed drifter who shot up a Louisiana theater last night, murdering 2 people and wounding 9 others before killing himself. Correspondent Will Carr is on the scene tonight in Lafayette, Louisiana. Hello, Will.
Good evening, Brett. What was supposed to be a fun Thursday night quickly turned horrific in a matter of seconds as an innocent group was gunned down in the theater behind me as they were watching a movie. Authorities say this man, John Russell Hauser, bought a ticket to the new comedy Trainwreck at the Grand Theater 16 in Lafayette, sat through the previews, and then about 20 minutes into the movie stood up, pulled out a semi-automatic handgun, and shot 2 people sitting in front of him. He then fired randomly at the audience, reloading at least once.
How does the happiest place in the world produce somebody so full of, hate and evil to just stand up in a movie theater and start shooting people? What provokes somebody to do that?
Witnesses say at first they thought the shots were part of the movie.
And then we saw a lady with blood all over her legs. I just grabbed my child and we just all ran.
Police say Hauser ultimately shot and killed 33-year-old Jillian Johnson, a local business owner. Her family said their hearts are shattered. 21-year-old Macy Bro from Franklin, Louisiana also died at the scene. 9 others were wounded. 1 remains in critical condition. Authorities believe Hauser tried to blend in with the crowd rushing out of the theater, but saw police officers and went back inside.
We know he had at least 1 additional magazine, which he dropped in the lobby. He reinserted, reloaded, and returned back into the theater, at which point we think he fired 1 additional round, and that was into himself.
Local and federal investigators are now digging into Hauser's past. They say the 59-year-old was a drifter, born in Phoenix City, Alabama, but had been living in a Motel 6 in Lafayette for the past month. Inside his room, investigators found wigs and glasses, items they believe were meant for disguises after the shooting. They are also investigating his blogging habits. Fox News has discovered documents that show Hauser's wife filed for a protective order back in 2008 alleging Hauser committed, quote, acts of family violence, which led his wife to remove all guns from their house.
I do see that in 8 and 9 he was treated for mental illness, so that should have stopped him from buying a weapon.
Within the past couple of minutes, Governor Bobby Jindal just took a tour of the crime scene. At the same time, authorities are taking the time to honor 2 teachers, both of whom were shot, one who still managed to pull the alarm. Authorities are saying that absolutely saved lives. Brett.
Will Carr in Lafayette, Louisiana. Will, thank you. Up next, President Obama in his ancestral homeland of Kenya. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates around the country are covering tonight. Fox 2 in Detroit with Fiat Chrysler's recall of about 1.5 million cars and trucks in the U.S. after 2 hackers took control of a Jeep Cherokee SUV over the internet. The company says it's discovered the vulnerability and is updating software to fix it. Fox 32 in Chicago, where a Cook County judge has ruled that a law reducing multi-billion-dollar shortfalls in 2 of the city's pension funds is unconstitutional. The overhaul had sought to eliminate a $9.5 billion liability. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel has said without the changes, the funds will soon be insolvent. And this is a live look at Eden Prairie, Minnesota from our affiliate Fox 9. The big story there tonight, some very lucky ducks. Drivers on a busy freeway swerving, switching lanes to avoid the mother and her babies as they cross. The State Patrol says motorists should not stop for animals crossing a busy freeway. That's tonight's live look outside the Beltway. From Special Report, we'll be right back.